Welcome back to another predictions video. Thursday, the 7th of March, and we were on fire yesterday. Well, St Mary's was on fire, or there was a fire near St Mary's. The game got postponed, but that didn't stop our other two bets from landing. We had over 3 corners for Leipzig at 1.57, and both teams to get a card, which bumped it up to 1.86. Leipzig got 6 corners in the game, and both teams saw 3 yellow cards. This is a general tip for these European knockouts, and maybe we'll see some in this video as well. Especially the second legs, when the first leg has been tight, so Real Madrid had a 1-0 lead, they're going to take a yellow card in the game. They're going to take tactical fouls in these second legs. European football is full of them, and that referee from Italy that we looked at in yesterday's video, what was it, 5.1, I think, his average per game in Serie A. So that was nice, but even better was the BTTS value bet from yesterday. 2.38 was the odds pre-game for this one, and the probability model had implied odds of 1.88, so a great value bet there. I think it was 2-1 at halftime, finished 2-2. QPR can continue their decent form in terms of now being unbeaten in 4 games. They're scoring goals again, and West Brom will probably feel that that's a game they should have won, but again, we don't care. We weren't betting on the result. And whilst we're on the Championship, I'm adding to the avoid list, the banned list, Plymouth Argyle. From the, I think it was Tuesday's video, wasn't it? They failed to score again. So on to today's predictions, and someone in the comments asked about over 1.5 goals. Can we get value bets for over 1.5 goals? And the answer is yes, and I'll show you how to get them and filter for them in this video. But what we're also going to do is start on the trends page, so you can see we're looking at the next 5 days here in terms of over 1.5 goals. And I would say that this is a nice place to create doubles, but the odds are really probably too low. All of these teams are 100% in terms of the home form and the away form, which means every single game has seen 2 or more goals. So that's why the odds are so low. And when you see the bell icon, it means that the odds are not even available, but they do become available. So there is potential to get that value in play. So one game being played today, Al Nassr here, 1.11. We can just say, well, tell me if it is 1.4. And you'll be notified if that is the case. And let's look at the next 24 hours so we can see some of the games that are upcoming during this day, Thursday the 7th of March. We've got some under-21 action, which is good. Might take a dip into that. Dynamo Kiev here. Is this a European game? It isn't. It is the Ukrainian Premier League, so we've got an average of 4 goals per game. So as I say, this page can be useful for the alerts if you just want to go through and check some of the games. I'll show you how you can find value bets as well. So I'm going to show you some value bets for over 1.5 goals now, and this is what somebody was asking in the comments, and that reminds me, get your comments in, any predictions for today, get them in the comments, and share them with the community. And of course, every comment will automatically be entered into a draw to win Odd Alerts Pro, which includes pages like this. This is the winner from yesterday's video. Thank you for the comment. I will get in touch as soon as I've finished recording this one. So we can see here we've got a game from Spain. 1.3 is the implied odds from the Odd Alerts probability model, whereas William Hill, 1.6. And then you can see 1.43. At the minute, this is being sorted by the value on offer. So 23% and then 15, 15, 15. So these are the filter settings for over 1.5 goals on the value bets page. And we could just say, show me minimum odds of 1.4. And these are blank settings. I've not changed anything. You can then sort by kickoff time so that we get some games that are going to be happening on the 7th of March. So now we have games. We've got odds from Pinnacle, 1xBet, Bet365, and feel free to take a look at some of these games here and maybe add them to your predictions for today. You can see 1.54 there with 1xBet in the Oman Professional League. So today we will focus on the Europa League. These are the games that we've got here. We've got Leverkusen playing Roma Brighton. That's one that we will definitely check out. And I want to show you a brand new feature as well here. This is something that's open and free to everybody, whether you are subscribed to Odd Alerts Pro or not. And to show you this, we will head into the Sparta Praha and Liverpool game. Now this, I believe, will be an interesting game. And I'll just show you some of the goal stats for this because I actually came across this game from the trends page. For their Europa League form, you can see here BTTS 80% of games, BTTS and over 2.5 goals 80%, and BTTS or over 2.5 goals, 80% for Prague and 83% for Liverpool. Now, this one is interesting because there's going to be, I believe, heavy rotation from Jurgen Klopp, and I just want to show you this new feature. This launched yesterday. You've got the results tab, as usual, traffic light system, green means win, red means loss, yellowy orange means a draw. But now you can click on this and say, okay, show me BTTS, and it will change the colours so you can easily scan and see how many games ended with BTTS landing, if there was any sort of trends. So, for instance, in terms of goals scored, we can see that Prague have scored in the majority of games this season. They failed to score against Rangers, incidentally, at home, and they failed to score in the previous game against their rivals. So, would they have been resting players? This is what you've got to factor in to these games. And in terms of resting players, Liverpool has one of the biggest games of their season, no doubt about that. On Sunday, they're playing Manchester City at Anfield. It is a massive, massive chance, of course, for Liverpool to stamp their authority on this title race and show that they mean business by beating Manchester City. I'm going to do a separate preview video for that game where we put some bet builders together, look at some player stats and whatnot. But for this video, let's focus on the Europa League. Let's look at the goals scored by Liverpool. It's been a while since they failed to score, and actually, it's just once, isn't it? Man United at home. So away from home, would you bet against some scoring? Absolutely not. These are the goals conceded by Prague. So you can see that actually they don't concede more than once often, but the Czech Republic League is very different to the Premier League, and you're not playing Liverpool every week, are you? Even if it is a rotated Liverpool team. Let's have a look at the odds here, because obviously we saw the data for BTTS and over 2.5 goals. 1.71 is the peak with Unibet. Now, this is the first leg of this knockout tie as well, which means they can rotate a little bit. There's a bit less pressure. Don't want to take anything away from Sparta Prague, but Liverpool obviously the firm favourites, even if they rotate. So how would Klopp approach this? Does he just want to still be in the game when they bring them back to Anfield? Or do they just want to get this game won in this game and then, just keep it tight at Anfield? It's a bit of a tricky one. I just want to show you as well that you can go to corners, and I really, really like this. This is making things a lot easier. You can now see the corner count. So if we look at Liverpool here, 3 corners in this game for Forest and 12 for Liverpool. If we look at the away form for Liverpool, nice and easy to just scan through. What about Sparta Prague at home? 7-4, 7-5, 3-6, 4-3. So for that Liverpool game, over 3 corners for Sparta Prague and over 1.5 goals, 1.86. Now, I will come back to this at the end of the video, and maybe we'll add stuff to this slip and then delete what we don't want or need. So yeah, that's the way I'm going to do it. Now on to Roma versus Brighton, and this is going to be a good test for Brighton, good test for De Zerbi, and he's obviously got experience of managing and Italian football, and we can see that Roma's only defeats recently were to Lazio, Milan and Inter Milan, so they are in pretty good form since sacking Jose. I think the sacking of Jose was potentially a little bit harsh. Maybe a few too many draws in there. I know some of the Roma fans were certainly disappointed to see Jose Mourinho leave. But in recent games, there have been a lot of goals. And if we look at BTTS, we can see it's landed in the majority of games this year for Roma in terms of goals scored. 4-3, 3-1, 2, 4-2, 2, 2-1. So certainly the goals have improved since Jose left and De Rossi came in. But goals conceded, just 2 clean sheets in a long time there. And again, this is why I introduced this yesterday. It just makes things so much quicker. In previous videos, I just found myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which was funny, I guess. But when you're editing that, it's painful. So on to Brighton. They come into this with 1 victory in the last 5, and that was away at Sheffield United, who they're gone, aren't they? Conceding for fun. And in terms of goals conceded, it's not looking great for Brighton. They've struggled with clean sheets all season, to be honest, unless in Europe, which makes the prediction a little bit harder, because Marseille clean sheet, Athens clean sheet, Ajax clean sheet twice. So that's something to weigh up. If we look at the probability model for this game, we can see over 1.5 goals, 78%, under 3.5 goals, 65%. So interesting there. Under 4.5 goals, of course, quite high. 56%, which implied odds for over 2.5 goals is 1.77, whereas in reality, the odds are 1.86. So again, this is a value bet with some bookmakers. If you can get 1.86, that's good. I would go with that. I quite like BTTS here. I could see a 1-1 draw in this game, and we'll check that out, 1.7. So negative value. I'm actually going to add that to my predictions on odd alerts. I can see a 1-1. We'll check out the cards here as well for Brighton. Now, this is total cards in the game, so 3, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4. For Roma, 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, 2. And then we can also check out the referee for this one. It is Francois Letexier, French referee, 4.03 cards per game in terms of his Ligue 1 record this season, 4.73. He's booked both teams in 7 out of 11 games, so 64%. In terms of booking the away team, it is 100%. Let's look at his combined form. In fact, let's look at his Champions League form. 5 games, a lower average in terms of the cards. And again, 3 out of 5 games he's booked both teams. So I would avoid cards in this game. And it's a first leg as well, isn't it? The second legs, as I mentioned previously, the second legs, that's where you get a lot of tactical fouls, especially if these first games are a tight affair. And I think with the away goal rule being scrapped, you can expect some tight games, like I was on about before with Liverpool. They don't care if they get a 0-0 in this game, to be honest, because then they can just beat Sparta Prague 3-1, 4-1 at home. Even if they lose 1-0 potentially tonight, it's not the end of the world anymore if they don't get that away goal. On to Freiburg against West Ham, and we can see 2 points per game and 2.5 in terms of the record in this competition. We can look at the results, and for Freiburg, it is not great coming into this at home. It's a little bit better. In fact, it's just 1 defeat since November, but they are conceding goals, aren't they, especially at the moment. Bayern Munich, Frankfurt and Stuttgart, 4 games there coming into this, all BTTS. Yeah, it's a bit inconsistent, isn't it, for West Ham this season. You can see the run that they went on there, but they've got a couple of wins against Brentford, against Everton, 2 teams struggling a little bit themselves at the moment, and now they're playing Freiburg, who are also struggling. I think given how they performed last year in Europe, I think there is something extra for West Ham when they play in Europe, and a lot of teams find it, don't they? Given poor league form, they can pull something out of the bag. So another value bet here, actually, the probability model, 1.61 implied odds, and the odds across some bookmakers 1.75, 1.81 the peak with Betfair. I just want to check, actually, the full-time result market. So it's quite even, isn't it? It's really quite even between these two teams. The bookie's struggling to call this one. So if we look at the double chance, I quite like the double chance to be fair, given the form of Freiburg. Let me know what you think about that, 1.57. But I just checked, and it's actually dropped to 1.44 with a lot of bookmakers. Now, 1.5 goals, someone was asking about that. So I just wanted to kind of focus on it in this video and show you how you can find it in a few different ways. And one thing you can do is create a quick filter here, probability, 1.5 goals, save the rule, and that's it, hit search. Maybe you want to add that the teams have played a certain number of games, but it's not necessary. And then we can see we've got a game here in play right now, 2-0 already. I say already, it's the 89th minute, but it was 2-0 at half-time there. We've got a game here that's 0-0, 54 minutes, so you might enter these games in play. What we can do is actually sort by the probability model, and we'll see games in Australia, we'll see games in Spain, the Saudi Pro League, Al Nassr. I've got an alert set for that from the trends page for first half goals, under 21s football as well. Feel free to look at any of these games and take a note or check them out on the website, and you can see why it's important to filter on the games played, because we're getting some teams here that have played 1 or 2 games. We don't want that, so we will get 10 or more played, save for both, and then we'll find a more in-tune list. So we'll check out this game, 5 p.m. in Saudi Arabia, and it's Thursday, you know, so apart from the Europa League, Thursday's usually quite a quiet day, and one of the most important pieces of advice or tips in terms of betting is it's about the games that you don't bet on as well, as much as the ones that you do bet on. don't go chasing if there isn't any value to be found, you know. So Al Nassr, they've won 73% of games at home. Away from home, this team has lost 55% of games. Negative goal difference of -10. Let's take a look at the results. And they are unbeaten at home in a while, since last August, but they come into this having been beaten by the team that is first. Now, we found this game for over 1.5 goals, and the implied odds are 1.14. For the probability model, that is 87%. So I've got an alert set for this already. Let's do an AI fixture simulation for this game. 2-0 victory for the home team. The most common scoreline was 2-0, 3-0. So what, I mean, is there any value in this game? 1.33 for the home win. So just digging a little bit deeper here. First half goals scored, they topped the charts, Al Nassr. 29 goals in 22 games. So we saw the AI fixture simulation, 2-0 expected. Will they get a goal in that first half? Potentially. What about first half goals conceded? Al Raid are 6. What about their away form? They stay 6, 0.82. So as always, thank you for watching. These are the sort of thoughts that I've had as I've looked at those games today. And remember, you know, as I said before, Thursday, if it's a quiet day, don't force anything. Let me know what you think about these options in the comments. Which ones would you take? So we've got a bet builder here for Liverpool. Over 3 corners for Sparta Prague. I think they will maybe be given an extra bit of confidence, not that they need it, by the team news at Liverpool. I think they will rotate Liverpool. I think there'll be a few youngsters in there. There's rumours of injuries to the second goalkeeper as well for Liverpool. So, and then over 1.5 goals as well, 1.86 there. Al Nassr expected to win. Expected to see at least 2 goals in that game as well. They've got a good record in terms of scoring first half goals. Over 2.5 goals in the Roma Brighton game. That's the one that I don't feel too confident about. So, I mean, I'll probably leave it off, but let me know what you think about it, because I can just see a 1-1. I can see a 1-1, I really can. And Brighton, in Europe, they've had more clean sheets than not in Europe. They didn't concede a single goal against Ajax, and I know Ajax have not been in great form, but we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. And then for the West Ham game, I actually really liked the Kudus shot on target and West Ham to either draw or win, 2.6. The fourfold 16.23, but obviously I would suggest, you know, maybe doubles or singles for the West Ham one. So as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Stay tuned this weekend for a preview of the Premier League games, including Man City, Liverpool. Now, I'll obviously say right now that game is going to be quite unpredictable, could go either way, but I will give my thoughts and we will look at the player stats, we'll put some player props together. We will try and create what I like to call a sensible bet builder rather than a long shot, speculative, hopeful bet builder. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments to be entered into a draw to win Odd Alerts Pro, and I will see you in the next one.